so excited to just get this started. We're going to be giving you guys all of the tips on achieving silver, but what we believe is going to be most valuable for you is we're going to be breaking that rank down, so you can see just how obtainable it is and how you can lock in $1,000 a month minimum. Most of us know that with the economy the way it is, and the average person is $500 to $1,000 away from feeling the financial impact of inflation, which $500 doesn't seem like that much, but $1,000 can for a lot of families. So we're going to dive into how you can bridge that gap and then some with your Amare business. So getting specific with goals, we're going to encourage you, and we're going to get like deeper into this for sure. But we're going to encourage you to create long-term goals, like when you want to hit silver, and short-term goals that all of those little things that happen leading up to it that actually get you to that long-term goal. So ask yourself and give yourself very detailed answers on how you are going to get there. What steps do you need to put in place each week and month to get there? And what's actually going to move the needle? What's like something that you're filling your time with that might not be like very productive for your business? And what are some things that you're doing now that we can actually help you amplify or finesse to help you get there even faster? So we want to reverse engineer this goal with you and give practical steps and tangible actions, like something that you will get off this call and be able to implement in your business right away to get there, because it is so possible. So just like a quick example, I set my rank goal every month. We had this conversation in the chat in the beginning of the month, like drop your goals. So I set those every month. And I also like to set an enrollment goal of customers, an enrollment goal of brand partners, and then check in on my own brand partners and see what their goals are and like how I could help them get there. So it pushes me to just keep sharing about Happy Juice and the business in general. So we're gonna get into it. Oh, this is me too. So our goal is for everyone here to get silver, clearly. It's possible for those of us, or for those who want this for themselves, and silver is a guaranteed $1,000 for 6 months, and it is the launching pad for your future ranks. And more income, obviously. It's guaranteed for 6 months, and I've always heard, well, I have had a couple of people ask me the question, like, well, what happens after those 6 months? With how the growth is going, like, you're naturally just going to be climbing those ranks. So you're going to be hitting gold and then platinum, like it's just going to keep increasing. But silver is like that first leadership rank. So the requirements for silver are 5,000 in volume, your own personally placed order, and then 1,500 of volume outside of your largest leg. So this is an important one. And then 2 personal brand builders, which is 1,000 OV for each. And sometimes, depending on like the promotion, the last 2 months, Amare didn't have it be a requirement, but sometimes for them to be a brand builder, they need to have their own personally enrolled brand partner. So this is why it's very important to just always be working with your own brand partners.
Okay, I'm going to talk about how to get there. And I know maybe for some of us that are just getting started, you're like, wait, this is a lot, because maybe you haven't made it to brand builder yet, but we'll have a sheet at the end that's going to help you like build up to each at brand builder bronze and to silver. But right now I'm going to be focusing on this. So how to get there, really tangible tips. You want to rank map. So you want to look at the big number. The big number is 5,000 OV total in sales. One order is 105 PV. If there's a sale, does it dip to 100? Is that what it is? Okay, so obviously, I mean, if there's a sale going on, you will be off by 5, but usually one order is 105 PV. So that means 48 people. You need 48 people total to get to 5K. That seems like a really big number, but then this is where that goal setting comes in. How many brand partners do you want or do you need to get there? Are you getting on a call with these brand partners? Are you helping them launch their business? Are you talking about their launch post, whether it's a reel, whether it is just a post that they put on their grid and on their story, and on Facebook if they're utilizing that? Like, make sure you get the ball rolling right away when you have someone who signs up as a brand partner, and make sure you're just meeting with them to know, like, are they wanting to just do Focus on 5, or are they wanting to, build a business? And once you know that, they're going to want to do a launch post no matter what, but you will be able to really guide them, and that will help okay, like if this person's just focusing on Focus on 5, that means maybe 5 people total for them, times that 105, times the 5 people they get, and you'll be able to look at that math easier. And then also, like Kristen said, making a goal. How many customers do you want to help personally? How many customers do your brand partners want to help? And this takes a little bit of time. You're going to want to use your calculator and whatnot. But an example is, so if you had 5 brand partners at Brand Builder, that's going to help get you to 5K, right? So that's just like one example of an easy way of breaking that down. If that's what you want, then you're like, okay, I'm going to focus on getting 5 brand builders, and I'm going to really work hand in hand with them and help them get to that first rank brand builder. And so these are like really, really tangible ways to help get you to silver. And then get as specific as you can with your long-term and your short-term goals. So if this is like month 1 of doing your business, maybe you're not trying to get to silver right now. Maybe this month you want to get to brand builder, and you want to get 3 brand partners launched and getting going. And then your long-term goal is, okay, I want to hit silver in 3 months, or whatever that is for you, just so you are able to, like Kristen said, reverse engineer this. Make a dream list. If you've been on any other calls, you've heard this. It sounds cheesy, but it's super powerful, of people that you would love to work with in this business. Whether you have people you follow that you see are always sharing affiliate links, whether you know that there is another mama that stays at home and she would maybe benefit from not only Happy Juice, but also like doing this business. Those people that you see posting on social media every day anyways, like this is a really easy way to start talking to them and put them on this dream list. Invite 2 close people to run with you right from the start. And of course, as always, this isn't a weird, hey girl, cold message, but again, look at those people, maybe like I just described, or like your very closest friends, or even a closest family member who you can like easily have these open conversations with, and talk to them about this. Talk to them about the Focus on 5. Talk to them about the minimum $1,000. Send the opportunity call to people. Now there's an opportunity to call every Monday and every Thursday. So if you want, talk about both of them. I'm sorry if you guys can hear my dog joking. If you want, talk about both of them or focus on one. And then we always have replay like links. So if someone like randomly wants to see the replay, send it to them. And always like use your little polls. Like, do you want me to send you the Zoom link? Do you want me to send you the replay? The majority of people say replay. And even if someone accidentally clicks that button, I always just like to say to them, hey, I'm so excited you're interested in the business. If you accidentally click this, just ignore the message and send it anyway. Because if they did accidentally, whatever, they're still getting it. And if they didn't, whatever. And last, get comfortable with rejection. People are going to say no. It doesn't mean no right now. The majority of the time when people say no, it's just means like right now. It doesn't mean forever and for always. So get comfortable with that and know that for every no someone says, you're going to have another yes for it. So yeah, just get comfortable with it and know it's not a you thing, it's a them thing. All right, practical growth, ways to help you grow, not only in your business, but I think the majority of us are doing this through Instagram. A big part of like selling on Instagram, is personal growth and is building your own like personal brand. You don't want to be known as just like the Happy Juice girl. So some ways to do this: prioritize Zoom calls, personal growth, whether that's podcasts, whether that's books. And I know it's hard, talk to your significant other about like, this is like a big goal of mine. This is a big priority of mine. Like, can you take the kids for this amount of time? Maybe you're in a place where you can have a nanny for like a couple hours out during the week. Whatever it is, maybe you go on walks, throw that podcast on. I know how hard it can be, especially if you have kids. But if you want to truly get to silver, you have to prioritize Zoom calls and personal growth. Next, sharing value on your stories, and not just information or sales. So when it comes to value, this is, who you are. I don't know if you ever heard of content pillars before, but that basically is like, what are the subjects that like make you that you like to talk about and you can provide value about? This is more than a photo of your kids swinging. This is more than a picture, a boomerang of your outfit or like the drink that you made. This is still talking on your stories, but this is stuff outside of Happy Juice, outside of Amare. So think about like, is it non-toxic living? Is that important to you? So maybe you have different products that you can share that are non-toxic or DIYs. Are you, health and wellness is a big one, whether you, work out. I saw Abby start talking about 75 hard, like whatever that is that you can provide value and teach people about. Motherhood, thrifting, do you read books, recipes? Just think about what makes you, and then think about how can you provide, oh my gosh, my dog. Think about how you can provide value with that. And if you get lost and you're like, I have no idea what to talk about, if you shop Amazon, I know some people are like against that, but if you do, just go to your Amazon, look at your recent orders and look at the things and be like, which one of these products do I love that I can sell the shit out of on my stories? Like, you need to be selling the shit out of things outside of Happy Juice so people know that you're not just trying to literally like make money off them or that's all you are. Repetition is good, especially on sharing your story and your results, both business and with Happy Juice. So not just sharing the graphics, not just saying these are the 3-month phases, sharing your story and what got you started with it. I just said not graphics, a third-party validation, share testimonies. A really easy way to get testimonies from your customers if they're not just like texting you or messaging you them. If you have all your customers on close friends, put up a question box and just ask them to throw in a testimony. And then you always have that to go back to in your archives. Plus, there's a bunch of them in the Boards app and in the Google Drive if you don't have customers yet to share about that. Retention, the fruit is in the follow-up, making sure that you are following up with people in your DMs, whether you write that down in a notebook, whether you move them to your general folder in Instagram. Sometimes messages do this weird thing where you scroll and then it like goes to messages from like 3 years ago and you're like, what the heck? So using like that general folder is really nice. And making sure that you're following up with them. Are you still interested in Happy Juice? Figure out what's maybe stopping them from purchasing, whether it's price, whether it's, I don't know, they're afraid of detox, whatever it is. Just make sure that and try to keep these things in the back of your head, because then when you're showing up on stories, you can always use those things to speak about. So when that person is watching your stories again, they're feeling seen and they're like, crap, I do really need this. And then the last one, in-person network, if that's something you're into, that is I know there has been some people that are hesitant on the taste, and then they've been able to come over and taste it from someone, and they're like, oh yeah, I for sure want this. Like, this tastes good. So whatever, you can do to help build that growth. If in-person is your thing, then try that out too.
I just wanted to add something really quick. I'm not looking at the chat, so I don't know if anybody has said this already, but when we were all talking about putting this call together, as we were like thinking of things to tell you guys, like tips, we were saying like, wow, okay, social media and just like how to show up can be a whole separate call. So if that is something that you guys want, just like put it in the chat. It's not to overwhelm you. It's just like, we've all been in this industry I've been in it almost 7 years. Like, we've all been in it for several years. So just like giving you the things that have worked for us instead of doing all of the trial and error yourself. If that's something that you guys want, just let us know, because like how to show up with value, like talking about using your objections as like a content prompt is like so so good. Nicole literally just did it the other day and was telling us how she used that. And then that person literally messaged her and was like, okay. So there are things that we can, talk about in that call. So if that's something you're interested in, let us know.
And before I go into these slides, I do want to say 2 things about social media is, and obviously we can do the other call, but one thing is the power is in the DMs, you guys. You will see people show up on their stories and post a few slides and that kind of stuff, but the power is in the messages. So, and that doesn't mean just like, messaging people about Happy Juice or talking to somebody about Happy Juice. That's like you're scrolling like on your story thing on other people's stories and you're messaging them being like, oh my gosh, your kid's outfit's so cute. Or, oh my gosh, it's a beautiful day. Like, I'm so glad you're outside. Or like, just like getting in their DMs. Cause how amazing is it when you're posting content and someone responds to your messages and you're like, oh my gosh, they're actually paying attention. And oh my gosh, this is worth my time. And like, it's fun to have these conversations in your messages. That's how they feel when you acknowledge them. And the more often that you're acknowledging them, the more often you're going to pop up in their feed and the more that they're going to build that relationship with you and be like, wow, she does actually care about me aside from what she's trying to sell me. So practice like just taking 20 minutes a day or 15 minutes a day and just going through your people's stories and just quickly, I mean, you shoot a message like every 3 seconds to people, you could send 20, 30, 40 messages in 5 minutes, and practice that every single day. And then another thing I hear a lot is like, I don't have a lot of time throughout the week. Like if you're a stay-at-home mom, you have a lot of kids or you're full time during the week. Something that's helped me a ton is batch creating on weekends. So if it's like making a few reels and saving them to your drafts, or like even recording stories, like you can change your shirt. You know what I mean? Like if your husband's home and you're like, I have 2 hours that he's going to take the kids or something, like take those 2 hours and just like sit down and record stories and save them to your thing. Write out your captions when your kids are in bed that night. And then you have something Monday morning to post and you don't have to worry about like, getting ready Monday morning and your kids are yelling in the background. You're like, I have no time to post anything. Well, do it on the weekend, write your captions out, have it all ready to go. And then, you have stuff during the week. So that's a good way to utilize your weekends. If you take weekend social media breaks, that's a good time to really like create content, and all that. So those are 2 things, 2 of my biggest tips, I feel like, is like batch create and then get in other people's DMs. Okay. Now I'm going to go to resources. Resources. This is Amari sets us up insanely well. Like it's insane to me how many resources we have. And if you are not fully utilizing them, you need to do it right now. So making sure you're in the 2 Facebook groups. So we have a July launch group that's for all of the new affiliates. So you can add people there as you enroll people. And then we have LFG, which is Carissa's group, right? Which is like the main or diamond like group for after you launch. So those 2 ones. And then we have our specific, Kristen, like your group, right? Which is the like Amari affiliates group. Okay. So make sure you're in Facebook groups. If not, if you feel like you're missing one, get to whoever you signed up with and they'll get you in the groups. But that's a great place to like cheer people on, get people, ask questions, all that kind of stuff. We're all here for each other in those groups. And then the opt-in text prompts. So if you haven't texted that number, do it right now. Do it right now. Text the number. I'm going to give you 3 seconds to do it. And text Share Amari, and you're going to get these text prompts. You don't have to use them, but at least you'll get them. So if one day pops up that you're like, I have no idea what to share today, you're going to get a text right to your phone of a prompt that you can throw onto your Facebook with a picture and you're done. You don't have to always post on Instagram. I would utilize Facebook. Facebook is huge right now for getting people too. So definitely utilize those. And then the boards app, I think that might be the next slide too. The boards app. So now that you've texted Share MRA, I want you to go to the Apple store, whatever on your phone, and download the boards app. If you don't have that yet, you need to get it. That's where all of the information that you are searching for is. And I would recommend making an Amare, kind of like this picture shows, like an Amare section, what are they called, in your phone, album in your phone, and just putting these two apps or like whatever other apps you use for the business in there, so they're all in one spot. And then bringing up boards. If you don't have the links to them, Kristen, can you put the links to the boards? Just Society 22 and maybe like Happy Team in the chat. So when they download it, you can click those apps and it'll automatically put them in your boards app and in there. So like if you, it literally, so in Society 22, it has new ? Start here. So that's where you'll go first. Okay. And I want you to go through every single one of those and make sure like, okay, your first 30 to 60 days, what should I be focusing on? There's like literally a board that says what you should be focusing on. So going in there and just kind of taking some time to just like go through everything. I know there's a lot in here, but just taking a couple minutes, maybe each night, to go through one or through another. Like they throw in the promos here. They have Instagram story, like prompts and graphics and pictures and all of that. There's responses, which is huge because I know a lot of us get like questions from people where they're like, what is Happy Juice? There's a response in here for that. So just go in here and you can copy and paste that and send it to somebody. Obviously you can like change some of the verbiage depending on how you talk, which I would recommend doing so it doesn't seem like a copy and paste. But like there's healing and detox scripts. Is it safe? If somebody asks if it's safe for pregnancy and nursing, there's a script for that for you to copy and paste this. So like if you're somebody who's worried, like, I don't want to share all this stuff because I don't have all the answers, don't be afraid to not have the answers because the answers are literally in this app for you. And if you can't find something in this app, then that's when you go to the chat and you go to our chat and you say, hey, someone just asked me this. I can't find it in boards. Always go to boards first. But if you can't find it in boards, then you ask the question in the chat and somebody will get back to you. And it might be something where you just like overlooked it and they'll be like, hey, here's the link to where it is in boards, so that's how we can like help each other. But this is what duplication is going to be as you bring in affiliates on your team. You're going to give them this and be like, it's going to be your lifesaver because it's duplicatable. So like, as you grow in your business, you're not going to have time to answer 100 affiliates questions. So this is what you're going to want to give your personally enrolled affiliates so that they know it's here and they know the resources and how powerful it is. And then they're going to want to give this to their affiliates and it's just going to snowball from there. So just make sure you get familiar with it. And yeah, that's pretty much.
Yeah, it's honestly like the best system that, like Jen said, it's just so easy for you to pass down and then your brand partners are going to pass it down to their brand partners. And then like one quick tip that I have that I personally do, it's totally up to like your personality and what you feel like doing, but I will take like some responses or like things that I send to my first time customers and I just have an Amare like customer note like on my notes app and I'll just paste some of the responses that I know I'm going to need like all the time. And if I don't feel like going into boards and like finding the answer every single time, like I'll just copy and paste stuff in my notes app so that I have it like right away and ready to go.
Yeah, I have that too. I also have that as an album for like pictures on my phone. So
Yeah.
I've made an Amare album in my phone. So if I take a picture of something or I take something from boards, like a graphic or a picture from boards, I have a specific Amare album in my phone. So I don't have to like scroll through 100 pictures of my kids before I find the picture of like my Happy Juice or whatever. If I need an overlay or if I need something like that, it's all just right there. So that's another tip too. Work harder, work smarter, not harder is what we try to do here.
Okay, you guys, I'm going to share some homework, but I just try to, you're going to see a bunch of chats, messages come through. I try to send this whole thing, but it was too big. Okay, so these are some of the links that I have saved in my notes, just like video links that you can link on your stories that are also going to be super helpful. So before we hop off this call, I'm going to leave you with some homework, but what I'm actually going to do is be a little bit sneaky here and send you guys something that I'm technically not supposed to share because it was something that I purchased. I don't know if you guys have heard of Kristen Baugh. She's a network marketing genius. She is an incredible speaker and she has a podcast and she does so much great work. And she oftentimes offers these like 3-day courses. And so one of the most recent ones that I signed up for, I purchased this thing that I'm sending right now. Should be sending called the Audience Accelerator. So if you are somebody who is either not super comfortable with social media or constantly feeling like you don't know how to show up or what to share outside of Amari and Happy Juice, this is going to be an incredible resource for you. I would highly recommend just taking some time to like dive into it. It's super resourceful. There's lots of story prompts. There's grid and reel post ideas. There's hooks. There's just so much content, juicy stuff to just kind of like get your brain going when you are ever feeling like you're stuck. This is also going to be a really great resource to refer to if you are like Jen was saying, if you're someone who on the weekend likes to batch content or plan out your week kind of, it's going to be able to give you some ideas of some topics that you could share, prompts and things like that. So if you if you struggle with that, that is going to be really great for you. So this is also, I have this PDF right here too. Oh wait, do you have the PDF version of this, Kristen? Or is it just a photo of this? The homework.
It's just a photo.
Okay, I'm going to send it here.
I still don't have the PDF. I've been waiting for 8 hours.
Okay, I'm going to send it. Here we go. This is just a bigger version of what's on the screen. Kristen is going to get us the PDF version so that we can actually work through this, whether you want to print it and write or work on it on the computer, or you could kind of just use it as a guide and like pull out a notebook and a pen and help you to organize it. But this is going to be your homework. So we've been talking through a lot of obtainable, actionable steps for you guys on how to get to silver, talking about goals, making goals, but you guys, writing down your goals and writing down your plan is going to be massive in helping you to actually accomplish them. So in this PDF that we're going to get, this is going to work through reverse engineering our goals. So in the top, I'm just going to walk through it. It just says, I'm hitting silver in the month of blank. So I want you guys to dream big, not small. Okay. Don't tell me that you're going to hit silver in December because you're going to hit it way sooner than that. Okay. Pick a goal that is going to make you feel excited, but it's going to also be obtainable. Okay. And write that down. And then just write down how many hours are you going to give to this per week. So your dream list, Emily talked about this earlier. It can sound cheesy, but you guys, like putting names down on paper not only reminds you to stay in contact with them and make connections with them and continue to grow that relationship with them. But it's just going to kind of like, it's like a powerful tool, you know? So write down your dream list of the people that you would love to work with, people that you know would benefit from an additional stream of income, people that you would just like love to do this with. So road to brand builder. We know that brand builder is 1,000 OV. So if we, work backwards, that's 10 enrollments with Happy Juice. Okay. 10 enrollments is going to get you to 1,000 OV. And while I guarantee you all could probably enroll 10 people in a month, and you all know 10 people who are going to want to benefit from Happy Juice, you don't have to do this alone. And that's when our brand partners come into play. And that's where Focus on 5 really helps us to like break these down in really like an obtainable way. It makes so much sense. So I want you to write down who your brand partners are, or who you hope your brand partners are going to be, and then your Focus on 5. So if you don't have brand partners right now, I would just write down your Focus on 5, the people that you are going to continue to build relationships with, follow back up with. These are the people that you're having conversations with, or that are going to want to grab Happy Juice. And then if you have brand partners already, right? Have the conversation with them. Who are their focus on 5? I know I love having conversations with my brand partners and just asking them like who in their world has been interested, like have they had interests come up, and they'll like give me their names and like their whole stories about their conversations. And I will take note on that so that I can go back and follow up with my brand partners and say, hey, like, how's it going with so-and-so, so-and-so, to kind of help keep them accountable also. So write down their focus on 5. And then at the bottom, it just kind of repeats to going to the road to bronze, which is 3,000 OV. So it's the same thing, you guys. Who are going to be your brand partners? Who's going to be your focus on 5? Which brand partners are going to be ranking up to brand builder? This is just going to be a visual for you guys to help keep you organized, to help keep you focused. Yeah, so when we get this, Kristen will send it over, but in the meantime, it's here for you guys to help you just organize your thoughts on paper.
That's all we have for you guys. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and we're just going to make it into a Q&A. We have exactly 6 minutes and 55 seconds left. So if you have any questions or just like want to brainstorm anything really quick, like the floor is yours. Either type or unmute yourself, whatever you feel comfortable with, but we are here to chat with you guys.
Megan, were you able to download the document? I think if you just click on it in the chat, it should open. Does it open for you guys?
Hi, everybody. Thank you for sharing that. I clicked it and it opens, but I couldn't figure out how to save it.
Oh, I don't know. Oh,
Yeah.
I will sometimes I feel, does it work if you just like drag it from the chat onto your desktop? Does that work?
I'm on my phone. That could be the problem.
Oh, that might
That
be
might be
why.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not.
Megan,
I
I can
just
send
thought
it
of that.
too.
Oh,
Or I
you're
can
the
even
best.
put it in the Facebook group too.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
That's really great. Thank you.
Did you all see the text that Amari is doing free shipping? Is that with everything? I just saw that come through. So that's amazing because that's a
That though,
huge incentive.
is that with everything though?
I'm looking.
I don't think so. I think it's when you spend $200, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, that happened. I didn't know if this was something separate. No,
I
yeah,
think it's
that's,
just them reminding us of all the promos that are already happening since the beginning of the month.
yeah, okay, so that's that's just a reminder, but it's when you spend $200, which is, okay, one thing I want to do, what I want to talk about, which I wish I started doing from the very beginning, and that is talking about launch packs when you were talking about the business, because launch packs are above that $200 mark, and there's just so many amazing things that happen for the person that's getting them, the brand partner that's getting them, like they jump up in their percentage back. They get more points than like average to, well, they start with like a jump start with points to our Mexico trip, but then you also get more points. It's just like a really great incentive for people that know that they want to jump into the business. I honestly wish that I started with one. And it's basically just like the best launching point. I don't even know how else to describe it, like a really great launching point for anybody that is jumping into the affiliate side, because there are just so many perks. But you can also talk to that with free shipping as well, because they would qualify for that.
And I think they start at a higher earning back percentage. That's what Carissa told me.
Yeah. So
yeah.
they start at a higher earning. They get like, depending on what launch pack they get like 50 plus points to a trip, the Mexico trip. So it's just a really good way to launch your business. Okay.
And I just want to reiterate too that the free brand partnership is only until the 15th, which is 5 more days. So this week I would go 100% go heavy on the affiliate and side of when you're talking on your stories. I don't know if you guys were on the Monday call or whatever, but Amanda talked a lot about just talking this week a lot about the business side and just like really honing in on that free affiliates and like getting in people's, like, that's when the follow-up is going to hit. Like, so anybody who has like reached out in interest in the past, just be, message them and be like, hey, only a few more days, this is free. Like, and sometimes even like if it's somebody that I've really wanted to get on my team, I'll be like, hey, I'm going to cover your shipping for this first order or two or something like that. Just like throwing in like an extra little incentive to get them like started can help too. But
Yeah. Oh, that is my other point, was that don't be afraid to like borrow ideas from any of us. So there's a lot of times where I'll just be scrolling and I'll see Carissa post something on her stories, or Jen or Emily or whatever. And I'm like, I'm going to borrow that. And I literally go on my stories and just do the exact same thing in my own words and to my audience. I did that the other day with the growth chart, and then Emily messaged me and said, I'm going to take that. And I was like, cool, go ahead, because I took it from Carissa. Like, there is nothing that is off limits. So just
like Elise just did a really good like business post, didn't she? And like a reel or something.
yeah. And
If you
I
guys wanna-
screenshotted it and I was like,
yeah, I'm
use
gonna
that
have to do that
tomorrow.
one too. So
Yeah. Screenshots. Like, that's what I do. I screenshot and then I'm like, okay, that's a good talking point. I'm going to do that tomorrow. So don't feel like you have to come up with these ideas on your own. Between all of us posting, and then the prompts that you get, and then what Nicole just offered or dropped in the chat with story prompts, like,
you
there's
have a lot of
abundance
content.
of ideas.
You have a lot of content. You just have to take the action and go like do it. Like
Yes.
take all the content you're given and just go do it.
Yeah. And you'll be surprised how much you could get done in like an hour if you're just focused on that.
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions? We have a minute. So I just want to be conscious of your time, but also make sure everybody's getting any questions answered.
Super quick question. The free affiliate,
Mhm.
is that something Amari does every month, or is it kind of random, or?
It's random, but as long as I've been sharing since March, there's been a sale, like a free affiliate upgrade for current and new, or just like new, at least every month. We just don't know when it's happening. There's also been pretty much a Happy Juice sale every month I've been here. So hopefully that happens soon. But we just I don't know when it happens. So you just want to make sure you're always,
But there's always a
doing
little
due
something.
diligence throughout the month before a sale launches.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, well, we always have our chat. So if you think of any questions tonight, just drop them in there. I just don't want this to cut us off. But thank you, ladies, so much. We appreciate you guys for giving us your time, and we can't wait to see you at Silver. Bye, guys.